What's up, you penis-pumping pranksters? Terrence Pop here with an episode that really is live from the lair. All right, now Blake isn't here tonight. He got himself a stomach bug, and he's been laid up, and I would say it's pretty severe, but he should be okay. It is what it is. It's going around. I believe he and I caught the same thing, except it's hitting him a little harder because I already did the whole puke-a-thon thing for a day and a half. I'm golden. As long as there isn't a lot of pain, like the headache stuff, I can pretty much drive through any discomfort there is. All right, now we got to bring in Jimmy and Red Pill Rhino. Come on in, boys.
How's it going, gentlemen?
All right. Now, before we get into the fun stuff, I understand Trump is talking today, and it's relatively important because we're watching our country be converted into a banana republic before our eyes, and this is not going to end well. All right, so let's cover what's the first story we're going to put in there. Oh, that's right. We just had a major company flip their script and decide they want to go woke, despite the fact that an overwhelming majority of companies that do this lose their asses because we don't fucking care for it. Yep. And we, meaning the people on the right and in the middle, are starting to get really pissed off at the bullshit that's going on.
Yep. Might I point out, before we name names here, read the room on that company a little bit as who I'm talking to. Most of your audience, let's just say a lot of them are NASCAR fans for a start.
Yeah.
You're picking the wrong crowd, man.
Yeah. There it is right there.
Beverage, go away, pop up. Beverage pretending to be beer features man pretending to be a woman.
Yeah, and Blake, we saw that thing the other day, and he made that joke, and they got it before me. But it's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Now, typically, I used to drink Bud Light. That shit is never doing that again. And, one of the main reasons I drink the light beer is, I'm fat, and I don't want to get fatter. And a regular beer is the equivalent of a ham sandwich in calories.
Right.
How many people sit down and eat 12 to 20 ham sandwiches at a sitting? But people do that with beer all the time, and before they know it, they're blowing up like a piss pump, and breaking the toilet.
I did read a little bit of this, and it actually is pretty hilarious. In a match made in heaven, a beverage that tries to pass itself as beer has hired a spokesperson as a man trying to pass himself off as a woman. For decades, we've been putting carbonated backwash in beer can and pretending it's beer, said Anheuser-Busch CEO Brendan Whitworth. Who better resent our brand than a guy throwing on a dress and pretending he's a woman?
Yeah.
Longest stable drink of people who hate actual beer, Bud Light felt putting Dylan Mulvaney's face on a can that would also attract people who hate actual women.
And who is this Dylan Mulvaney guy?
Some TikTok star that decided, hey, I'm gonna put on a dress and pretend to be a woman. And
what's interesting is he started off like I guess I don't know what I can say on YouTube anymore. You can't say anything on YouTube. He started off as a normal guy who likes men. Then he decided to take that a step further until the point that Drew Barrymore is on her knees saying that he's so great and amazing for being so strong and brave.
Here we go. Yeah.
That happened like last week.
That false bravery stuff. Yeah.
And just to prove this is a real thing, this is from Not the Bee. God, that face looks like Nancy Pelosi, Michael Jackson, and a touch of AOC all climbed up of the ugly tree and hit every single branch on the way down.
Well, if I didn't know that was a dude, I would think it's just at best a homely woman.
Yeah.
Maybe like 4 or 5 on the look scale.
Okay, I'm going to tell you, I've watched a lot of this stuff to talk about, and then I end up not doing a show on it. But I've watched it so you don't have to. Let's just clarify, he did an entire musical about being a woman for 365 days. That is what Budweiser's advertising on their can. If you look, it says, cheers to 365. That's specifically what they're talking about. I didn't either, but I did, so you didn't have to.
Good.
Yeah.
I don't want to read that shit.
That is.
There it is. Cheers to 365 days.
Right there. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. So I will not participate in Budweiser or any of its products. Now, Jimmy, have you looked up the number of products that they have?
Yes, I have. I have a list straight from the horse's mouth here. This is straight from anheuser-busch.com/brands.
All right, so every motherfucking thing on this page, you need to never buy it
Blue
again. We're
Moon.
not doing boycotts, we're doing mancotts.
Yeah.
Fuck them. Like Shock Top. I used to like Shock Top. Oh my God.
Really? Breckenridge Brewery's on that list too. Well, that one's done.
Yep. Got all these brewings and other stuff. And then have you ever heard, what the fuck is a Beyond Beer?
Technically it's a beer with no alcohol. They used to serve it in Iraq all the time. It's terrible.
Healthy beer.
Includes hard seltzers, canned wines, canned cocktails, and more.
Mm-hmm.
And box wine.
Yeah, for Catland.
Yes.
Yeah, but like go back through those again. Let's see. Is there any other ones that I?
Let's see.
What's that? Virtue cider. Never heard of them.
Nope, me either. There's another cider. Veza Sur, Carbach, Goose Island, Breckenridge.
I was shocked by Breckenridge. That's that orange one on the right there. They made. I guess I won't be drinking those anymore. But they're out of Breckenridge, Colorado. They make a lot of good beers. But that's it, man. Mm-mm.
Yep. So if you guys want to get a more detailed list on this, go to anheuser-busch.com/brands, and you can click on it. Need to check my ID. Yeah, screw off.
We have a beer. Who made beer companies big? Men.
Mm-hmm.
Men historically would come home from work and they like to drink beer.
Yes, sir.
Right now, Budweiser wants to make beer for 1/3 of 1% of the gross population of this country, and they can have it now. Because all of the men out there, you should stop forever, starting today, purchasing anything from the Busch company until further notice, in my opinion.
If it was up to me, I would say let them rot forever.
Yeah,
yep.
Well, unfortunately, that's probably not going to happen, but it is what it is.
Yeah, probably not.
Everything woke turns to finish the sentence.
Shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this, though. There was one entertainer that didn't take too kindly to old Dylan boy being on the can.
Yep.
And he actually is close to your area there, Pop. Let's see, where is it? Kid Rock, Goes Ballistic, F Bud Light, and F Anheuser-Busch. So he went to Twitter, and of course, we'll skip through their article. We are definitely not clicking on that video because that is Dylan. But here we go.
Grandpa's feeling a little frisky today. Let me say something to all you and be as clear and concise as possible.
MP5.
Nice.
Fuck Bud Light and fuck Anheuser-Busch. Have a terrific day.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I like it.
And I 100% agree with that statement. I knew he would. I knew he was going to come out and say something like that because I saw the post and whatnot. And I was like, wait a second, that's an MP5. That's a full auto MP5.
Yeah.
Double winning.
Yeah. Too bad he didn't hit all the beer cans, but he got his point across.
Yeah.
And the thing is we need to get a majority of the people in this country to stop rewarding these companies with their money. Stop purchasing shit from them. Let them fucking die on the vine, and let them discover too late that catering to this insanity did nothing but break their company, make them bankrupt, or drive them completely out of the marketplace.
Yep. And there once was a company a few years back that did such a similar thing. Now, who was that again? Another company directed towards men. Gillette.
Remember this dumb shit here?
Yep.
Yeah, don't talk to her, bro.
Yep. Gillette's new ad about toxic masculinity and Me Too drew quick and sharp criticism.
And what year did this come out?
This was January 15th of 2019.
Okay.
It wasn't even that long ago.
Been what, 2.5 years, something like that?
Been 4.
Yeah, 4 years.
Over 4 years.
Almost half a decade.
Yep.
And if I recall, shortly after they did this, P&G, which stands for piss and garbage, had to write off somewhere around $5 billion.
Let's take a look here. This is from July 30th of the same year. Procter & Gamble's company's PGN quarterly revenue and adjusted profit beat Wall Street expectations on Tuesday, sending shares to a record high, even as the world's #1 personal goods company took an $8 billion charge on its Gillette shaving company business. P&G reported a net loss of about $5.24 billion.
And listen, when they do the write-off, what that means is the company has no intention of trying to reclaim that debt.
Right.
They're like, we're never going to make any money on this. We're just going to cut it off and keep going. So they probably got if they wrote off that much, they probably got a decent tax benefit from it. And that's probably what made them profitable. Yeah. But, they are, P&G is involved in the whole, vax craziness. So they're probably making some money on the back end doing that as well.
Oh, yeah, guaranteed.
That's another company that literally made its money, got its market share in fame from supporting men, mainly men at war, i.e. World War I and II. That's where the safety razor came up. They came up with the safety razor because shaving in the trenches of World War I got a lot of people infected and fucked up because it's incredibly dirty and very austere environment. And then years later, they literally forget the people that stood that company up and supported it for decades. And they just basically put a knife in their back.
Yeah.
And I have not purchased a Gillette product since.
Yeah.
And I never will.
And Budweiser's doing the same thing right now.
Yeah.
It's like, again, read the room. Who do you think drinks your beer? It's are there some probably liberal-minded leftists out there that drink your beer? Sure. Yeah, but who is the majority of your beer drinking audience there?
Dudes.
Probably hardworking dudes that
dudes do stuff for a living. Yeah.
Yep. And you know what? I should put together a short video, just like Kid Rock telling fucking Budweiser to fuck off.
Indeed.
Yeah. But now that I think we're done with the corporate April Fool's pranks, we've got a couple here from the community out here. We got this one here from Jeremy. Says, back in the early 90s, lived with a friend at his mom's house. I lived there immediately after getting out of school, working as parts delivery driver. There was my friend, his brother, his sister, and his mom. Pretty nasty house. They had moved up to Section 8 squalor, and the mother's mom ended up ultimately buying a house out of the ghetto for them to live in. This is far back. I'm going way back to, say, 1999. My friend and I had known for a long period of time, since the early 90s, that she was a user and a taker, like jumping up and down physically on my torque wrench to break his brother's axle nut loose. Using my clothing as his own personal sock rags.
Ooh. Oh, no. That's not good at all.
Any of my tools or anything that had disappeared, I'd go look through his stuff and find my stuff. And then the respect coming from him did not translate into the actual respect I was sending in his direction. So we're not getting a tit for tat thing here going on with respect. And that's not good. Now with that, I set the scene. I had a 67 Camaro. He had an 86 Camaro with the V6 in it. He had his spare key pushed in his car out to the street. Oh, wait. Hang on. It's hard to read these lines. There we go. He pampered his car. He loved his car. He kept pushing at me one day. The place where he was working was one street away from where I worked, and had his spare key pushed in his car out in the street and put a sign on it for $500 or best offer. Inquire inside.
Nice.
Kind of ruffled his feathers a bit. It did not get the desired effect.
Mm.
On the day in question, it was early morning before it got hot in the house because they had a swamp cooler, and I'm going to say 7:30 in the morning. Me and his brother were talking about his brother is younger than he is by maybe 5 years. His brother keeps looking at me, saying, I wouldn't let that stuff fly. I'll look him dead in the eyes and say, I don't think your brother can handle what I can dish out. Okay, fine. Maybe I'll even feel better in the end. I'll go look for my secret stash that nobody can find. I come home walking back into the house with a triple stack of waterproof M500s. I will not disclose how I doctored these. I will just make the remark, I'm Northern Irish.
All right.
This gentleman's little brother looks at me and says, oh crap, well maybe we shouldn't do this. Now you've already got the ball rolling. My friend's door is not on the hinges. I don't remember why, but I had his brother crack the door open just a little bit, which is easy to make no sound when the door is off the hinges. I have a 5-gallon pot. I light off the goodies, and we both jumped back to the opposite ends of the hall, and I yelled at the top of my lungs, report! You hear somebody mutter, what? It was a deafening explosion that shook most of the house, if not all the house.
Nice.
Fred comes stumbling out of the room wearing only boxers, slams into the wall across the hall like a fish that got dynamited in Crocodile Dundee.
Nice.
That's good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you have girls screaming in the house as he stumbles towards his keys to get out the front door and into his car and disappear for a week. At the first point, me and him ended up talking. I told him his tab is paid in full, and I suggest not putting anything else on his tab. It took me a little while thinking of pranks to remember this one. It was a long time ago.
I got one you guys will love. All right.
Oh yeah.
This is an army one, and like I said, I suffer from evil genius syndrome. I can't help it. It just is what it is. Now, I enlisted in the military at 17, went to basic AIT, turned 18. Shortly after, I got stationed at Fort Lewis, Washington, mainly because I wanted to become an airborne ranger, but that's a whole other story. So I get on the ground. I in process, maybe there a month, and me and this guy named Mark get voluntold because we're going to be lifeguards. So we have to go to lifeguard school, which they had on Fort Lewis. And the pool is like 2 blocks away from the headquarters where they put up the flag, play the reveille, and shoot off the cannon. And we're literally watching it happen. We see the 4 guys come out, walk down there, smoking and joking. They put up the flag. The guy gets ready to hit the button for the big speakers that play reveille. Guy opens the cannon, doesn't even clear it, puts in the charge. Boom, everything goes down. And that's when I got the idea. I'm like, wow, that guy didn't even clear the barrel. I'm like, well, maybe we can fuck with this guy. So
Here it comes.
The next day, I had this modified beer can that we had cut a bunch of slices in it, and you compact it, and the can will get wider. and we got to the Revley cannon, and we opened up the breech and put the beer can in there and squished it so anything we put in the barrel wouldn't fall into the breech, because the minute they open it, they'll see it. And then we filled it with, I think, somewhere north of 36 golf balls. Could have been more. I don't remember the exact number. All right. So we get in his car. We go back down 2 blocks. We're watching the pandemonium as it's going to unfold. They come walking out just like the day before. Nobody checked shit. They go down there. They put the charge in there. They push the button. The flag goes up. Boom. And then you started hearing like windows breaking, couple car alarms going off. Like 36 or more golf balls literally came out of that barrel and went anywhere from 800 to 1,600 meters into officer on post housing. Now,
Whoa.
Nobody got hurt. There was just minor damage, and it caused a huge uproar. And it was, I think it was even mentioned in the paper, that the rag that they print up that all the soldiers read. So
Right.
me and my buddy Mark were like, okay, we're not going to do that again because we're going to get caught. And they were really fucking mad, like really mad. So he and I, we go to Egypt, we do our thing, we come back, and we had like a half day. I don't remember what exactly was going on. I think it was payday activities. So, we had made these plans that, after the half day, we're going to go scuba diving. So he comes in early, drops off his gear to my room. And I'm like, if we hurry, we can get down and sabotage the cannon again. And he's like, yeah, let's do that.
Brilliant.
We didn't put golf balls in it this time. We stuffed it with magazines and newspapers. And just like they did 7 months prior, nobody learned anything. The guy comes out, puts the charge in, flag goes up, guy pushes the button, and boom! And all you saw was this huge cloud of confetti come out the end of the barrel. And like you can see the NCOIC, he's like,
what the hell do we do now? Yeah.
and they were literally there picking up that confetti for like half a day. It was so much.
Oh, man.
It was hilarious.
Good time.
But yeah, man, that's the kind of shit you do in the Army. And unfortunately, in today's Army, that's not going to fly because they'll bust your balls for that. But back when I was in, practical jokes were a common thing. And most of the time, if it was going on, the platoon sergeant really wouldn't get involved. He would be like, so what happened? Did you get him? Was it good? All right. Because that's where the culture works. Am I wrong?
Oh, yeah.
No, don't get caught or else I'm going to have to smoke your ass.
I don't know, man. I thought that was a pretty good one. Like we've done the shave off the eyebrow. We've detonated grenade simulators in people's rooms. That I'm explaining. They got a health and welfare out of that one. Let's see. During a health and welfare, I cut out outlines of pistols out of cardboard, and I put them in the fluorescent lights.
Oh, no.
So they come and do the health where they turn the lights on, they search the room, and they, wah! And they find out it was just a cardboard silhouette, and everyone in that room gets smoked. It's pretty funny.
That's good shit.
I have to say, none of my prank stories are as good as that. I don't even think they could top those.
Because I'm an evil genius, man.
Yeah.
I've been doing pranks since I was like 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never really done pranks because I know once you start, it just keeps on going back and forth. I'm like, nah, I think I'll stay out of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. And that's the thing you have to do if you want to prank. If you're a practical joker, you have to have a good sense of humor. And then when they get you back, you can't get really mad about it.
Right.
And all my soldiers, they always knew I was a good sport about that shit. Because I understand the code. I understand the code. Hey, let's see if we have any super chats.
Chats here. Yep, we got a few here. Cliff 3188 199 says headline: Fake beer hires fake woman as spokesman.
Indeed.
I like it. I like it.
Dung is fun. It's $2. It says poop. There goes Bud Light with me, or pop. There goes Bud Light Lime with me and for you.
Yep. No more Bud Light.
No more vaginal quim.
Nope.
Sean St. George, he said with $9.99, he says Budweiser family of beers is owned by a parent company that owns a lot of other beer companies. If you're going to boycott, it's a very long list, which is why I suggest that you go to your local breweries and support them. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more, but beer's a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, the beer's better, and it's because all of the stuff you get from the big beer companies, they're old recipes, they're made the same way, and if you like them that way, that's fine. But variety is the spice of life. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sean St. George with another $1.99. He says, "Stop giving money to people who hate you."
Absolutely.
Yep. Deadly Raver here, $5 says, "Stop! Don't bring that here. We don't drink Bud Light beer." Cue the dancing cats. Oh.
Let's see.
Stop! Don't touch me there. This is
Hang
my
on.
no-no. Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square. Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square. Stop!
I love that one. I love that one. That's good stuff right there.
And it actually reminds me of a conversation Blake and I had a while back. It's for I can't remember what the topic of the conversation was, but basically the male equivalent of Box Wine and Catland is cheap beer and Fleshlight Land.
Hey, can we do an inventory? How many people we have on?
Over here on YouTube, we have 567. Let's see. Over on Twitch, let me bring that up real fast. Looks like we got 24 over there. MGTOW is rocking 65.
All
D
right.
Live. As soon as it loads here, we are at 22 there.
And Rumble is currently doing a thing where it goes down to 0 and then pops back up. But it was at 600 something before it reset on me there.
Oh, just
Outstanding.
620. Okay, so we have Rumble outperforming YouTube. Good.
And Odyssey, we have 61.
All right,
There you go.
Odyssey. All right, that's not bad. So we're pulling about 1,400 people. It's not bad.
Not bad at all.
Yep.
Can't complain.
Just seeing $5.99 on Rumble right now. So
What's that one?
Rumble was $5.99 when I'm looking. Oh, yep. There it goes again.
Gaming.
There it goes. It's dropping in. We're down to 0.
Yeah, it goes from like 601 down to 1, and then if you refresh it, it goes back. It's weird.
Rumble's got some hiccups.
Yeah, well, learning curve, growing pains, Murphy.
Yep.
You take your pick.
Murphy.
Yep. But let's see. Go back to these other stories. This one is from Andreas Christian. His title is Pranks, Punani, and Pringles Cans.
Well, this can't go bad at all.
No.
I figured since we'll go with the Pringles can story here. That one's a little bit shorter than the rest.
All right.
Balls for the Bullies, the title. When I was 13, I got sent to a special Catholic school. The vast majority of the school used to be exclusively female Catholic school up to 2 years prior. There was a lot of cheek there, and of course, bullies too. One fat fatso named Miguel Martin, who we called M&Ms, was the worst. He was always eating Pringles, and teachers told him to stop eating and stop bullying people. Fun. He was nasty. He was nasty and got physical. Not with me, but not with me, but it was usually name calling. So my friends and I devised a plan: collect all the metal Pringles tubes we could find and fill them with BB gun pellets, which will Pringles cans. If the Pringles, goddamn, I cannot read today. Which will, if the Pringles can is picked up, spill all over. Now, one or two BB gun pellets, no biggie. A whole Pringles can getting loose, oh boy, you would be slipping and sliding all over the place.
Yes, you would.
Nice.
Great plan, hard to do. We spent a week collecting the metal Pringles cans that we could. Then we hit a snag: how to release them when they're all picked up or knocked over. Well, James, my closest friend, had an older brother named Tony, who was in his last year getting his master's in engineering.
Excellent.
Yes, bringing in the evil genius.
Yes.
He walked over and said, "So I hear you want to pull a prank on Fat Boy Slump. I am in."
Very good.
He rigged all the cans. I believe it was 40 of them.
40.
It was 40.
Wow.
Jesus.
God damn, that's awesome.
That's a lot of
babies.
Yeah.
That's a lot of babies, yeah.
It was kind of like the principle of the grenade. I can't remember correctly how it went, but we could place them. But as soon as we pulled the pins on it, it was primed, so to speak. So we had to be careful. We got detention so we could stay behind. That was
not hard to get detention.
Yeah,
No.
that was for not making our homework. But the nun who was ordered to do the detention was cool and just told us to sweep the hallways. She remained in the office. We hauled ass to set everything up for Monday morning when Eminem would open up his locker door. The day arrived and it was glorious. He opened his locker door and we thought he was going to pass out. It were Pringles cans after all. He immediately grabbed one, and out came the BB pellets like a bat from hell from the other side of the can. They rolled everywhere, but Eminem wouldn't understand. He had to have his Pringles. Out came another and another. A lot of kids were giggling and laughing. Then the old crone nun, everyone hated her. She hated all the kids, but she especially hated Fatso Patso Miguel. There's usually always that one old nun that hates everything.
Yeah.
She screeched, which startled him, made him fumble and slip over the round BB pellets, making the towers fall and spraying all the BBs everywhere.
Good
She tried to get after him, but he shuffled away while the old crone was going bonkers, swinging her cane left and right. Then the headmistress came.
Oh, yeah.
And thought it was the old nun's fault at first. Eminem got into a heap of trouble and later, after winter holidays, was not seen anymore. The year after the schools melted together with an all-boys school, which was super elite, waiting lists and all, except if you were already a student of a Catholic school. So all of us, me and my friends, transferred there, and it was great. Besides, all the boys' Catholic school was located inside the city. The schoolgirls was out in the woods, attached to the nunnery.
Yeah, that's where it should be.
Yes.
Because the girls today do stupid shit. They need to have nuns on standby to keep that from happening.
Yes.
So that was like a classic prank on a bully in school.
I still want to know how the engineer did it to where they would just open. Did it explain that or no?
Nope.
Nah.
Dang it.
No, I got another one here. And all right, so me and my buddy Richard Doran, I moved into Berkeley at the end of 7th grade, and I made friends with him, that winter. And after that, he was like my little baby brother, and we hung out everywhere. And I got this idea that I was going to launch a firework into the Huntington Woods Police Department front door. So I used to order fireworks out of the back of those comic books, and I ordered basically 8 1/3 sticks of dynamite. The M3000 is what they called it.
Yeah.
And it was about that long and just over an inch in diameter. And I mean, it had a lot of girth to it. And of course, you have to rehearse. So I'm literally trying to shoot the firework with a slingshot. And because of its shape, it would, spin and wouldn't go straight.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided that for it to fly straight, I was going to have to wrap it in modeling clay. So I had Richard, he would hold up this hula hoop and he wearing a football helmet. And I made this huge ball of modeling clay. And I would try to launch it through the hula hoop. And for the first 8 or 9 times, it took some adjusting. I hit him like 5 times, like in the chest, the shoulder. Unfortunately, in the balls, that might have been intentional. I don't know.
Right.
But it is what it is. So finally, we get it down where, he can hold it up, and from a good 35 yards, I could lob, the ball of modeling clay through the hula hoop. So I knew I could make the front door from the row of bushes that used to be across the street. So we decide it's like 3:30 in the afternoon. It's summer. And I'm like, okay, let's go do it. And I already had everything prepared. So he comes with me, and literally we're on the other side of the bushes, and I'm popping up, and I'm, checking the police station, and I put the ball in the wrist rocket, and I pull it back, and this thing is like next to my face, and it's 1/3 of a stick of dynamite. It would have killed me if it would have went off. So I'm literally holding it. I'm like, light me. So he lights it. Shh. And I lob it, and it was 1 in a million, because the front door, there's like you have to turn at a 90-degree angle to make it into the office. But for whatever reason, the door was pushed in at just a weird angle. It's like Murphy showed up and was like, yeah, we'll make this happen. This will work out. And I fire it, and it hits there. Boom. It bounces into the police station. Now, I had a feeling this was going to happen. A bunch of those guys were Vietnam vets. So literally, I hear like, grenade! And like people are diving over desks, and it detonates. It's like, and all you see is papers. The windows are, ugh. And I'm like, ah! We take off running. And I didn't think it through, but apparently, they had put it out over the radio band that the police use, that somebody had thrown a hand grenade into the police department. And cops were literally, there was a traffic jam of police cars from virtually every city within 60 miles was parked out front. And they were mad as fucking hell. Holy shit, were they mad. But they never caught, they suspected it was me because of my past at the neighboring city, Oak Park, but they couldn't prove it.
Nice. Oh, that's good.
That's evil genius shit.
Highly illegal. Don't try that at home, but that is awesome.
I know. I'd have went to juvie for 4 years if they caught me today doing that. Yeah. But I mean, I'll never forget that instant image when I just took that snapshot with my thinking meat and saw that guy like literally diving over. His legs are in there, and then that huge flash. Boo! Oh my Lord.
Oh,
I think that was like
times.
1980, 1981, something like that. It was a long time ago.
It's before I was even a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeesh.
Before you were a thought. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my buddy Richard's dead now. Shocker. But it is what it is. So in the comments, let us know. Do you like the practical joke stuff?
Yes. If you guys have some practical jokes yourself, send them in the email. We'll see if we can get a couple read.
Yeah, email them in. We'll be glad to read them on the air, man, because listen, all the craziness that's going on in the world, it's kind of nice to get an hour or two break from it. Don't you think? I mean,
Yeah,
literally,
absolutely.
we're watching our whole culture and civilization implode, and I don't know how it's going to get fixed. So let's die laughing then.
We're pretty much the group of guys that are bringing the marshmallow to the bonfire.
I
Correct.
feel what is it? George Carlin said it. I think maybe it was another comedian, but somebody said, "Oh yeah, I know it was George Carlin because they had a car accident and they slowed down to look at." I feel like I'm that guy this week. I'm just watching everything I can find on everything going on between certain issues and then the Trump thing today. I can't say everything on YouTube, but. I can't remember the punchline, but essentially his wife, bring that body over closer. I can see the neck sticking out of the gas tank.
All right, here's another one I used to do. Now, I've said this on the show many times. I am not a nice person, and I was way worse before the head injury. And this was basically between the ages of 22 and 26. I'd be driving around doing my thing, and the traffic up here around Detroit is terrible. And on at least half a dozen occasions, I'm waiting in traffic, and it turns out it's a fucked up accident. And I'm driving by, and I roll the window down. And on several occasions, they're literally wheeling a guy into the ambulance, and I'm like, I hope you die! I'm driving by, these cops are like, what am I gonna do?
Right.
I'm like, yeah, I'm going to wait an hour in traffic. I hope you fucking die. That's not good, man. It's not good. But I mean, that's the kind of guy I was when I was younger. I was a fucking raging asshole. I had anger control problems, the whole deal.
Mm-hmm.
We got any more super chats? I saw we had a few come through.
Yep, we sure do. Raphael, $4.99. He's asking, do you have another Army story, Pop? One from your junior enlistment days.
Oh yeah, the best ones. Of course, I'll go through some more here.
All right.
We got a not a band account, $1.99. Today proves not even the president is above New York law.
Actually, no one is above a Banana Republic law. They literally come and get you for anything.
Yeah, I would say what, and I watched 4 hours of this today, and just to hear what the list of the 34 felonies were, basically it comes down to something like this. There's one charge, and then it's you had a bank statement here, you had an invoice here, there was a check here, there was a statement made here. It's all the same thing. So for one, let's talk quickly. I don't want to spend the whole night on this. We're trying to have a fun stream here, but the statute of limitations ran out 2 years ago in New York. Yes. It is 5 years. They have pushed this out for 7 years. Here's something Alvin Bragg said in his little pat himself on the back interview. He's saying, at the time, we didn't have the evidence that has come forth now.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Because, again, statute of limitations is up. But on top of that, even the federal government wouldn't take the case. This is a dog and pony show. It is a political attack. And that's what I'm saying on it. It is a nothing burger. Yeah. They're going to run through the clock. And what they're going to do is try to take this. I guarantee you they'll delay it. This is speculation, allegedly. They're going to run this into his presidency if he's reelected to try and take him out again. That would be my theory on it.
Word that I've been hearing is they're going to hold the try or the next hearing or whatever into like December, January. Mm-hmm. And what's going on during that time? Primary season.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
well, and the brilliant thing he did, I think he knew this kind of crap was coming because we had the Mar-a-Lago raid. We've had 2 failed impeachments. They just don't stop. And you're thinking, why would he say he's running for president so early? I think it's intentional because he says, all right, well, if you're going to make an ass of yourself, I'm going to let you do it to a candidate running for political offices. So I think that was intentional. And if so, it was a brilliant move because it just lit a fire under his party's ass.
Yep. And I've been seeing posts from people saying, I'm not even a Trump person, but I'm voting for him now. So in 4 days, was it 3 or 4 days, his campaign raised $7 million.
A lot of money.
So
any more super chats?
Yep, we got a few more here. Fan I am, Redonk with 5 Australian. Redonk mail, not funny email. Photos I took recently while shopping. Oh, let's just say he has a little spiel here. We had the gay and lesbian Mardi Gras in Sydney recently, and the 2 biggest alcohol supply chains, Dan Murphy's and BWS, Beer One Spirits, we're all too eager to support it. We have 2 big corporations that own nearly everything in Australia. It's Woolworths and Coles. Now, I tried my best to just buy from small independent liquor outlets or online stores. Shake my head.
Yep.
Yeah, these just more pandering to the stuff here. That's the one. Yep. So you got, BWS and all this other stuff. Dan Murphy's. And of course there's the flag. But you know what? That's funny that they put it on the ground because apparently if you even just walk on it, it's offensive and it hurts our fifis and it kills us.
Fuck them. I'm sick of this bullshit.
Yeah, me too. I think a lot of people are.
Yeah.
Yep.
What is this? What was the arrows about? Or was it irrelevant? Maybe it was irrelevant.
Sydney World Pride. The
right.
gay and lesbian Mardi Gras on the Little Creatures Pale.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
We got Alex Patino with $5. The Crow Nun is always cranky because she hasn't had Deke in centuries.
That's okay. I was just going to say that. They're all grumpy because they don't get enough Diaka.
Nope.
Yeah.
Dung is Fun, $5. It says, I am a very patient person for a prank. I will put grease under every car handle except the driver's side handle at work. No one knows who's doing it.
That's good.
I like it.
At least it wasn't shit because that happened to someone's car when I was in high school.
So he wanted an Army story. I'm going to give him one.
Yeah.
All right. So this one takes place in like 2004. I'm in Iraq. And, I'm as an E8. I think this was before I got promoted to first sergeant. So I was just a master sergeant. As an E8 in the active army with the Tower of Power, meaning you have all the tabs, you are very hard to fuck with. I mean, it literally takes colonels, lieutenant colonels and above, and maybe the sergeant major of the army. Other sergeant majors, they can yell at you, but for the most part, it's not a big deal at all. And I was bored, like I always do. I'm bored. I'm like, I'm bored. I think I'm gonna fuck with somebody. So, a couple of days later, I went out into sector with the Marine QRF, and we went through the bazaar, and I bought this, like, I think it was like $50, $60 remote control, like, toy truck. It had a range of about 100 meters or so. It wasn't very expensive. And, because I had found, against the wall, they had basically bulldozed the top off of a mass grave. And there was this lady's fucked up wig that was out in the sunlight. I'm like, that looks incredibly terrifying. So I put the wig on top of the truck, and I hid the truck in a cardboard box with one side open. And I literally, when people would walk by, I would like roll the truck at them and watch them just come unglued. Now, the one person I didn't expect to get with this, and I filmed it, was one of our sergeant majors. I think he was the sergeant major of the 504th MI battalion or brigade. And he's walking down the hallway. I mean, it was perfect. The camera was just at the right angle. He's walking down the hallway. All of a sudden, it rolls out, and he just sergeant major jumps in there. It's like, what? Ah! It like sounded like a chick. I couldn't believe it. I was laughing my ass off. Now, he yelled at me, a lot, but I couldn't stop laughing. He was like jumping like a bitch. All right. So what I did next that really turned the knife is I played that same video on all of the monitors in the chow hall on a loop for like 30 minutes. So everyone's in there like, ah! I would have let it go all day, but the sergeant major showed up and he outranked me and he's like, take that shit down. And again, I got yelled at again. I was like, we're getting ordered 5 times a day, Sergeant Major. You've got to have some fun or people are going to go crazy. Well, not at my expense. I'm like, well, Sergeant Major, you're really not above anyone else. You're just enlisted. You've just been doing it longer. So you're on the menu. Got so fucking mad. I got yelled at by everybody.
Oh, shit.
I love doing that shit.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. Looks like Sean St. George has his own $9.99. Says, when I was a private in the barracks, someone thought it was funny. I thought it was a funny prank to smear fecal matter on our barracks door. We weren't laughing while cleaning it up.
No,
but someone else did. That's just wrong. That's
that happened, but usually that is done by rival platoons or rival companies do stuff like that to each other. Yeah. And back in the old army, it was very common for one platoon to fight another platoon over some stupid bullshit. Like literally, we had the E4 Mafia and the 9th ID was having a problem with the E4 Mafia from 1st Platoon over a comic book or several comic books. And quite literally, it turned into like an 8-on-8 melee in the parking lot on a Saturday night. Everyone is drunk. But, they broke it up. The CQ took some names. I mean, they didn't get in a lot of trouble. They just did road marches.
Right.
Because back then, the platoon sergeant we had, he was a Vietnam vet, and he'd always be like, he would not allow anyone to severely punish his troops for fighting because that is what infantry is supposed to do.
Fair enough.
Yep.
So he fuck that. I mean, it's like taking the teeth out of your guard dog. You want to have dudes that are willing to fight at the drop of a hat.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He's totally right.
Jonathan English has a question here for you, Pop.
Yeah.
$10 super chat. How many times has the phrase "God damn it, Pop" been yelled into the ether?
Probably hundreds, if not thousands of times.
Yeah. All right.
I had officers like, Pop, you're that guy that's in that glass case that says break in case of war. That is it. And I'm like, that is a shitty attitude to have, sir. You should be like that every single day. Because then if you are, people will not fuck with you.
Touche.
Absolutely true.
Over on Odyssey here, just want to get through this real quick. We got a few that came in. Chief Kick a Bitch of a Slapaho Nation for $5. Let's see here. Sent a short email, meme plus ice cream commercial. All right, we'll have to check that out. Got Mr. Wright for $5 as well. I'm so glad Budweiser finally found their correct target demographic for their wastewater. That's pretty good.
Wow.
All right. I like it. Again, for $5, Mr. Wright says, the only way Democrats can stop Trump 2024 is by admitting they cheated him from the 2020 presidency, then claim he cannot run a third consecutive term. Troll King. There you go. Jackal the Emperor. I do have some potentially juvie-worthy stories, but they take too long to tell. The only hint I'll give is homemade apocalypse now. All
Excellent.
Right.
You know what? Email those in, and we can do a separate little video on them.
There you go.
Especially if they're long, convoluted, practical jokes. Those are the best ones. They are. I mean, I have done some pretty good ones in the past, and I still laugh my ass off in the middle of the night when I can't sleep. I think about that shit because it is price. It's like making a work of art. It's the chef's kiss. Oh. When you pull it off and like people flip out and they're all pissed, or you scare the shit out of them, you're like, it's totally worth it. Totally worth it.
All right. And the last one on Odyssey for now is Sunchoke B. Pop, if you were surrounded by enemy Bud Light cans, what 9mm weapon system would you choose to defeat them?
6 Sauer 226.
All right. That was quick. There you go.
That's
And
my favorite go-to pistol right there.
I do have the meme pulled up from Chief Kick-a-Bitch.
Let's see it.
It's
Is it any good?
a good one.
All right. Is it going to get us in trouble on YouTube? All right. No. Okay, good.
No.
Oh, shit.
Just a retired Hooters girl.
Ah!
Terrible.
Nice.
The video is a YouTube video, though, so we'll have to be sure to save
All right.
that one for Alt Tech.
Okay.
I did see on MGTOW that Mando's got a special video for me, I guess.
And we
All right.
have Fan IM sent in 4 clips. We can watch those on New
Yep.
Tech when we move over.
Okay.
Yep, we got those. We did get a $5 Cash App for Kid Rock. Kid Rock shoots Bud Light cans with the face on them.
Mhm.
Okay, I didn't know they had the face on them, but
I hit the face of what's her face on them?
What's his face?
what's his?
Yeah, what's
What-
Had to correct that.
the her, hey, shimp, whatever. I got it.
He, she.
The He-Man woman of face wearer.
The he, her, him pimple.
Ugh,
Gross.
disgusting, man.
What are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Let's see. I think we can go back to Andreas Christian's jokes or pranks here. This one is titled "We Played with a Bazooka." Okay.
Yeah, I've done that too. That's
That's
fun.
fun. It says, I was 12, together with James, Mick, Phil, Dean, and Danny. We had a load of fireworks over, so we decided to play soldier in the huge field around Dean's house. We had some special under the label in illegal rocket fireworks. They were first prohibited, so only 18 and older could buy them, and later got banned altogether. So, I wonder why they got
Whatever.
banned.
Listen, I used to do the same shit. We'd have bottle rocket wars. It was glorious.
It's all fun and games until someone has one explode in their face. Ask me how I know. So there we were, firing from the left over pipe pieces. We were near the old farmer who would beat trespassers with a club. He wasn't fast. He hobbled more, which was funny as fuck to see. He busted up some cars pretty good that were parked near his property, but the cops couldn't or wouldn't do anything. So he was the great evil one there. So Dean betted me a bag of cola sweets that I wouldn't dare shoot at the guy's house with the bazooka in quotes, and the others made different bets.
Hold my beer. I hear it coming.
hold my Coke. You got to remember he's 12 years old at the time. If I pulled off all the bets, I would have 5 bags of cola sweets and a silver coin from Danny. He was the oldest. But to win it, the rocket had to go into the chimney.
All right.
All right.
Oh,
Now,
no.
yeah. This is
Now we're
good.
talking. I said, I'm going for it. Load me up.
Oh, no.
Well, it shot off with an eerie whee. Then it flew left, and then right, and then up, and then it fell right down into the chimney.
That's one of them.
Everyone was dumbfounded, gawking in disbelief what happened. Then
That's
suddenly a boom, a lot of cursing, and full of soot, and nearly head to toe old geezer with his billy club came out. It's quite the vivid picture there.
Right.
Luckily we had already dropped back into the ditch. We were just peeking over the ditch, which we had a hedgerow on it, so we were looking between the ground and the underside of the hedge. He couldn't see us, so after 2 minutes of cursing, he called the cops. They bombed my house. Yes, my house, I tell you. He was shouting. Cops hung up. Him cursing again and calling the cops for a second time.
Oh, shit.
My house.
We got
That's
out of
good
there
shit.
we got out of there as stealthily as we could, possibly, because when we reached the forest and the orchard, Danny's parents owned both. The cops were there with 4 police cars. We saw them look into the ditch where we previously were,
Oh.
but didn't find anything. We stood on the bank and the hedge was up to our chin, and I shot from there. We could hear what was going on real good. Old evil fart was screaming about kids, and his face was as black as coals, but his teeth were white. One of the officers took his club away, which he didn't like, and started something with the cops and got arrested.
Oh, shit. Whoops.
Got arrested.
That usually happens when you fuck with cops.
Hang on. Yeah, I got some. I used to have this feud going with the sergeant of the juvenile police force of my city. He went by Sergeant Penn. He's dead now. He died of pancreatic cancer. And he's one of the main reasons that I came into the Army, because he had been collecting a dossier on me for all of the shit I've been doing, even a lot of stuff I didn't do that I was suspected of. And typically, if it was really dangerous or could get somebody really hurt, it wasn't me. All the stuff I did was annoying. There was some destruction, but for the most part, it was just pain in the ass prank kind of stuff. And this guy, he literally lived on my block about 100 meters, 120 meters away, 200 max. And he lived in this little condo, and his 2 daughters would come hang out with him. He was divorced. It was a weird thing. But what I would do is I would get my hands on 1 or 2 grosses of bottle rockets, and I would take all of the paper off and get them all individually ready to go. And I would get one of those old metal pudding tin cans.
Mm-hmm.
And I would put cotton at the bottom. I poke a hole, and I, put some lighter fluid in there, and I get a good 4 or 5 feet of that cannon fuse. And I would put it in there, and then I would put 1 or 2 grosses of bottle rockets in this can. And I would light it, and it would take about 5 minutes. By the time it went off, I'm already home.
Right.
And I would do it like just as the sun was coming up in the summer on a Sunday, and you'd hear the and it would go on for like 5 minutes, and he would just be fucking, God damn it, all day. He'd be out there picking up all the sticks and garbage from all of the bottle rockets, because he was one of those lawn guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then there was another one, the same guy. He used to drive this pickup truck that had like the side pipes, and it was all stupid, had flames on it. And in my city where I lived, you couldn't park on the street after 2 a.m. or you get a ticket. You can go get a special dispensation from the police department. But this dude like parked on the street all the time, never got in trouble for it because he's a cop. Well, me and my buddy Rich go down there, and we tie, it's like 50, 60 meters of that nylon cord to his back axle. And we attach the other 2 pieces to his 2 garbage cans that he had left out in the front of his house. And we're watching it from my house from the upstairs. He comes out. It's like 7:30 in the morning. Doesn't notice anything. Gets into his truck and takes off. And literally those two tin cans come off the curb, slam together. Garbage goes everywhere. Going down the block. He's screaming, fucking motherfucker, God. He had to pick up all that trash. I love fucking with that guy. It was great.
Oh, yeah.
There's a couple more sentences here from Andreas' story.
I'm sorry.
Damn it. little spit going down the wrong tube there. My bad. It says, finish it off here. Firefighters came and instead of telling that they found parts of a firework, they were saying that the chimney was clogged and a gust of wind dislodged the soot, which fell down and cascaded. He got cited for not cleaning his chimney.
Nice.
Brilliant. That is a great way to end that. Also, gentlemen, just wanted to jump in for half a second. Trump was doing his speech on Rumble, and I'm noticing there are some 505 errors on my end. But what I'm seeing one chat here, at least, fan I am for $5 about the clips in the email. But if you're having trouble on Rumble, they're probably taping routers together at this point to try to make everything work in the servers, because it's going to be a big night over there.
Yes, it is.
I was just going to say, I'm just now double checking that. And yeah, I'm getting 500 service errors on that one. So
yeah.
Apologies to the Rumble side if we don't get to your chats tonight.
Yeah. At least we can only do what we can do, man. Any more stories?
Let's see. Andreas does have quite a long one here. I think
let's save that one for when you go to Alt Tech.
All right. Yep. That sounds pretty good. It looks like we're rocking 707. We got rocking 533 on YouTube. Let's see. We got 27 on Twitch. 71, and that is a fantastic ass on MGTOW.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got 16 over on DLive, and Odyssey is rocking 72. We'll go back to MGTOW for.
I'm trying to figure that out, but the 505 error is.
All right. Yeah. Well, we can only do what we can do. I got you.
Yep. We'll go back to MGTOW. Take a look at that one more time.
Yeah.
That's nice. All right. Let's see.
So what time we got? We got 9:08. Yeah. Let's do the rest of the YouTube super chats.
Okay.
And then, if we can jump over to Alt Tech if you want.
Yeah, Sounds we got good. Got some stuff over on got some chats over on YouTube, and we can play those YouTube videos that we got sent in. Let's see. Big Chad, the Mad Lad, $4.99 says he's writing up his prank now to send to the email. It's going to be called "Turning a Hairy Evil Monkey into a Hairless Evil Monkey."
Nice.
Check for it soon. I'll keep an eye out for it. Ohio Trucker 1 with $10. My greatest prank was breaking into my principal's putting a dead alligator on his bed. The scream was epic. We ran a 2-minute mile when we got caught. Pop any E4 Mafia stories.
Nice.
He says principal's house. He corrects himself in the next one. Wars and harems. No comment. $9.99. If you did have one, YouTube deleted it. Demasta 12, $2. Great check, kid. That was 1 in a million.
Indeed.
Right down the chimney.
Dung is fun, $5. Says, I've been doing the same prank for 12 years running and never been caught. I get my boss once a year. No one knows who it is. Ha, ha, ha. Nice. Pixels going their own way with 25 PLN. Not sure if I've ever heard that currency. I'll have to look that one up. It says, this is a drive-by dono. I'm going to sleep at 3 a.m. We'll watch later. Take care, boys.
He's got to be over in Europe.
Yep. Something like that. All righty. Well, that is the end of the YouTube chats there. So you can go ahead, refill your menageries, empty your squirrel bladders. We'll be back in 5, and we will continue on with the stories here.
Make sure, Jimmy, that you go into StreamYard and disconnect off of YouTube, because they literally reopened it and gave us a strike for shit we're talking about that wasn't even meant for their platform.
Yep. I will double check, triple check, and quadruple check that YouTube doesn't try to play any shenanigans. So, again, go refill your menageries, take a leak. We'll be back in 5.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
You look like a blueberry.